А зараз слово Андрію Сидоренку. Андрій – учений секретар Інституту проблем сучасного мистецтва НАМ України, кандидат мистецтвознавства, і тема доповіді «Війна в українському цифровому мистецтві після 2022 року».
Our next speaker will be, I will first outline the program as we envision it right now. We will have one more presentation by Andrii Sydorenko, then we will have a short break, and then we will resume the presentations. And yes, that is the plan. Our next presentation is by Andrii Sydorenko, who asked to go ahead and present right now because he has an exhibition. Yes, he's going to open an exhibition, Imagine Point, where art by students will be presented, and that's a really important event for the artistic community. So we give the floor to Andrii Sydorenko, who is Academic Secretary of the Modern Art Research Institute of the National Academy of Arts of Ukraine. He has a Ph.D. in Art Studies, and the topic of his presentation is War in Ukrainian Digital Art after 2022.
Мікрофон.
Так, дякую за надану можливість. Хочу привітати всіх учасників конференції, всіх колег. І моя доповідь називається «Війна в Україні. Війна в українському цифровому мистецтві після 2022 року». Hello, everybody. My greeting to all the participants of conference, and my paper is called War in Ukrainian Digital Art after 2022. And now I will start the demonstration. During the war, many high-tech items have dual purpose. Thus, a drone can turn in a surveillance device, and a smartphone into means of information warfare. The dual purpose of modern technologies become especially noticeable during the Russian invasion in Ukraine. Thanks to the fact that the smartphone with a built-in camera has become one of the most common household items, probably no of this scale has been so comprehensively documented. Today, it is covered by private and state. Мене чутно добре, да? Щось там якісь, да.
Ми чуємо, є деякі
нормально.
Але добре.
Today, it is covered by private and state mass media, journalists, as well as military personnel, volunteers, independent photographers, videographers, and civilians who found themselves on the front line in occupation, bomb shelters, or in the place of temporary resistance for internally displaced people. We can also observe diversification of information media, which includes, in addition to television, radio, and periodicals, also profiles, pages, and groups in social medias, channels, and chats in video hosting, messengers, groups, audio, video conference, etc. All this has already prompted to make many corrections in the tactics and strategy of the war, both on the battlefield and in the informational space. Modern technology change not only the culture of society interaction with information, but also with art. First of all, during the war, it becomes obvious that cyberspace in Ukraine is more convenient place for demonstration of artistic creativity than an exhibition halls of museums and galleries. And the point here is not only that Ukrainian cultural institutions are now not protected from Russian missiles, but that social networks and profile sites create more favorable conditions for the rapid and widespread popularization of digital content around the world, allowing artists to show work dedicated to current events of the war within hours of their occurrence. Nikita Titov is one of the first artists who reacted with his works to the beginning of the Russian invasion of Ukraine. The most popular was his poster published on Facebook on February 26 2022, which depicts a Russian warship, reminding the viewer the history of the defense of Snake Island by the Ukrainian military. This poster became prophetic because after its appearance, the Navy of Ukraine sank a cruiser Moscow on April 14, 2022. The poster depicts a half-sunken red ship on the deck of which there are two towers and battlemented walls of the Moscow Kremlin, and it also contains an inscription with profanity. This poster became one of the most popular, and its reproduction was spontaneously spread not only in social networks but on streets, billboards, and surfaces of cars. Now I can show it. It's here. Another work by Nikita Titov, created on June 22, is called Ukrainian, the Shield of Europe. Here it is. In an allegorical form, it shows the geographical silhouette of Ukraine, which like a shield stands in the way of Russian missiles aimed at the European continent. This poster was later transformed into a mural for the exhibition dedicated to the Russian-Ukrainian War, Ukrainian Crucifixion, on the front wall of the exhibition center of the Museum of the History of Ukraine in the Second World War. And I wanted to show you else some pictures. It's a posters, it's war posters by Nikita Titov. Here you can see image of Russia as a terrorist state, and it's about the depiction of Mariupol and other cities. And another author is Albina Yeloza. Her posters convey the emotional tensions of the new terrible reality in which society has found itself. On the one hand, they clearly reveal the topic of traumatic awareness of mass murders and tortures carried by the followers of Russism against the Ukrainian civilian population. And on the other hand, there is a call to reject anxiety and fear and help the armed forces of Ukraine to expel the occupiers. The first thematic line should include posters signed with the following comments. The atrocity of Russians stick out like a needle in a memory. Little angels fall asleep. Hearts are clamped in a vice. I used to be able to forgive everything. Now I can't say that. The second thematic line includes the posters. Russia's ships are on fire and raise the mood nicely. Ukrainian women and men walked around the land, united and together suppressed the Russist. Russist is a term that means that include Russian and fascist. It's together it's Russist. And else one poster, heavy weapon on the way, victory at the doorstep. It is worth noting that the inscriptions used by Yeloza are not typical for war posters. They are something in between a slogan and author's comments in a poetic form. In her work, Albina Yeloza has been rethinking the heritage of Ukrainian sculpture and graphic for many years. Among the museum's exhibits that inspire the artist, there is a lot of religious art of Western Ukraine. So in her works, you can find angels with broken wings, seraphim, as well as crucifixes that appears in vector images on a plain background. So it is no coincidence that her war posters also contain elements of ancient wood sculptures, as well as the human body or its parts, which seem to be drawn with engraving strokes. And also I wanted to say that some of her works were exhibited in Odessa Art Museum, and it was broken because it was missiles near it, and the windows were broken, and her works also has been broken. After February 24, 2022, cyberspace quickly filled with documentary photos and videos. Among the authors of photos that often appear on the page of the international mass media are Nazar Furik, Pavlo Itkin, Dmitro Kozatsky, Konstantin and Vlada Liberov, Yefrem Lukatsky, Yevgen Maloletka, Sergei Mikhalchuk, Mikhailo Parenchak, Yevgen Zavgorodny. Also, during the full, I wanted to show you some of these documentary photos. It's by Sergei Mikhalchuk. This is very known photos also by Emilio Marinatti. Photo by Yevgen Maloletka, and also photos from the Ukrainian subway, which were like a bomb shelter, which use it like bomb shelters. Photo by Sergei Mikhalchuk also. And also during full-scale Russian invasion of Ukraine, hundreds of documentaries were shot, among which the most famous are 20 Days in Mariupol by Mstislav Chernov, Mariupol Unlost Hope by the organization of Ukrainian producers, and the film Year by Dmitry Komarov. These films are an important source for the detailed reconstruction of historical events, awareness of the causes, sequences, and realities of the war. The goal of Ukrainian documentaries who risked their lives in the Russian-Ukrainian war is to strive not only to show photos from the scene of hostilities, but also to collect evidence of the crimes of the Russian army against the civilian population, which can later be used in a court. Specialists in VR and XR technology joined the creation of the documentary. For example, the VR Museum of War in Ukraine, project by the War Up Close project team on the war.city website. This site contains a gallery of documentary spherical photo panoramas. The project gives site visitors the opportunity to study the sequences of destruction caused by the Russian invasion at the cities and villages of Ukraine with the help of VR technology. The film Fresh Memories, the look by directors Andrii Moravets, Vladimir Kolbasa, in which VR technology is used, focused not only on the destruction, but also on the video portrait of people who suffered as a result. Continuing the theme of Muzification, the Ukrainian team of SYDORENKO developers created a VR museum, Ukrainian War Genocide 21, which contains photos, videos, audio, spherical panoramas, satellite maps, and animation in a virtual room with a total area of 8,500 square meters. It's a VR space. It's a VR museum space. with the documentaries and videos. Photography and video in Ukraine, war-themed art, are presented now not only as a document, but also as auxiliary materials in the creation of collages, assemblages, paintings, installation, and etc. The collage technique has gained considerable popularity because the processing and combination of photographs allows the artists to more easily introduce a certain narrative into their work using signs, allegories, and metaphors. And the works from the series of digital collages Power of Memory by Katerina Lisova. Photographs of destroyed residential buildings and factories are in the same space as old family photographs and elements of traditional Ukrainian embroidery. In this way, the artist shows that the increased brutality of the Russian military is caused not only by the desire to resize the land, but also by the intention to destroy everything Ukrainian. Their goal is to make people who preserve their Ukrainian identity wary of new colonial genocides and censorships, which were already abundant during the 20th century. Recently, the amount of destruction suffered by cultural monuments in Ukraine become known. As of July 26, 2023, UNESCO confirmed the damages to 274 objects since February 24, 2022. 170 religious objects, 27 museums, 98 buildings representing historical and or artistic interest, 90 monuments, 12 libraries, 1 archive. In addition, in the occupied territory, all major museums whose collections were not destroyed by rockets strikes were looted. Katerina Lisova also considers historical parallels with the tragedies of the 20th century in her series Dark Times. Okay, maybe I will end my report and thank you for the attention.
Thank you, Andrii.